So this is absolutely massive, my friends. We got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about in this video. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, we do variety gaming content. We talk about the games, we play the games, best of both worlds. If you enjoy this video, leave it a like. Dislike it if you don't like it, that's fine too. But if you do want to stick around for more gaming content, be sure to do so. We got a huge leak, man. NVIDIA, massive leak. Now, I do got to preface this by saying, listen, like anything else regarding leaks, first of all, take it with a grain of salt. Second of all, some of these games we're going to be talking about are obviously games that we could see, but they also include games that may have been canceled as well. So it's kind of a mixture of the two sides, but let me explain before we jump into the list what exactly this is. So basically, NVIDIA Geforce Now, you can see a huge collection of games coming to PC. Basically, you gain access to this database by unlocking Geforce Now. Once you unlock it, it will give you access to the database for testing, and you can find unreleased games. Geforce Now's database confirms that the rumored Grand Theft Auto Trilogy remasters actually does apparently exist to some extent. It also confirms that some other games are going to be coming to PC apparently. Now, again, take this with a grain of salt because some of these games could have been canceled from my understanding. I don't know that all of these are still actually coming to PC necessarily, but it's pretty interesting stuff. So I'm going to go through some of the main highlights from different companies, and there's some pretty crazy games in here. So let's get to it right now. Sony, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Edition, which we already know about. Helldivers 2. I was gonna say Helldrivers. It's Helldivers 2. Horizon Forbidden West, which I believe was not already confirmed. I can't remember. Gran Turismo 7, which I don't think was confirmed yet. God of War, the first one. It doesn't say Ragnarok, it just says God of War, so that would be the first, the PS4 version. Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Ghost of Tsushima. We got all these different games that are from Sony specifically. Like I said, Returnal, Sackboy, like all these different games that are apparently coming to PC. Ghost of Tsushima, if I didn't mention that, I can't remember if I mentioned that one or not. Days Gone, which we already know about. These are all games that some of these are already in the database. Some of these we already know about. Some of these we can already pre-order or even buy right now. Some of them, again, have been confirmed already. So that's pretty interesting. Then we got some Microsoft stuff, which is not really surprising, but we got Gears 6, which you would assume that the next Gears game, of course, is going to come to PC, just like all the other Microsoft games have been. Oxidized, unannounced. Project Holland, which apparently is Fable, according to JSkeleton on Twitter. Project Typhoon, which apparently is Contraband, again, according to JSkeleton on Twitter. Project Woodstock, which Jez believes is Forza. Untitled, the Initiative game. Halo 5 Guardians, Avowed, Kalimba, Indus, and Gravity. So these are all the ones from Microsoft that are in this database. Pretty interesting stuff, but we're getting into some really juicy territory here, okay? We're getting into some Capcom, some Square Enix, some crazy stuff. Take-Two. Let's start with Take-Two. BioShock 2022, very interesting. So BioShock 2022, BioShock TRX Remaster, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters apparently are coming. That's crazy. From Capcom, we have Monster Hunter 6, Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, and the highly rumored Resident Evil 4 remake. Absolutely insane. This is crazy stuff. Square Enix. I'm losing my mind if this is true. Again, keep in mind, we gotta keep our emotions in check here, keep our hype in check. But we got Chrono Cross Remaster, Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? Okay, fair enough. Final Fantasy 16. Okay, sure, we already know about that game. Tomb Raider Anniversary 2021. An unannounced title by Square Enix. Who knows what that could be? And these next two, if they are actually real, will make me lose my mind and send it off into the next universe. You guys ready for this? Final Fantasy IX Remake, which, what the heck? If this is true, I've been saying if they remake Final Fantasy IX the way they did Final Fantasy VII, that would be crazy because 9 is just an insane game. I love that game so much. 7 and 9 are just the best Final Fantasy games in my opinion. Really good. And then we got Kingdom Hearts 4 listed in here as well. Kingdom Hearts 4. We know Kingdom Hearts 4 is eventually coming. This is not a surprise, obviously. The bigger surprise is Final Fantasy 7-9 Remake, which again, some of these games may not actually be real. I mean, like I said, I think this list could possibly contain games that have been basically canceled and things like that. But I don't see that being the case with a game like Final Fantasy 9 Remake. I mean, there's no way they would cancel a game like that. They know how much people love Final Fantasy 9, just like they love Final Fantasy 7. I think those are two of the bigger, most beloved Final Fantasy games. And Kingdom Hearts 4, like I said, it's inevitable. It's coming. And again, this is not fake, by the way. There's multiple sources that have gotten into this database. So this database does exist. The question is not whether this database is real, but whether all of these games are actually going to be coming at some point, or if any of these games have been canceled. That's the bigger question in this right now. Anyways, we're not done. We got some more stuff, because we got from EA, Mirror's Edge RTX Remaster, an untitled Respawn game, and Titanfall freaking 3, baby. If this is real, I've been desperate for a Titanfall 3. I mean, I'm hoping that these games are all real. And you know what? A lot of these games, it could be. Kingdom Hearts 4, maybe a little bit premature. That's the only thing I want to say about that. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's just continue because there's a little bit more on this list. From Sega, Bayonetta 3, Judgment, which this one seems odd to the person posting this, apparently. From Crytek, we have Crysis 4. From Bandai, we have Tekken 8. From Curve Digital, we have Human Fall Flat 2. From Developer Digital, we have The Talos Principle 2. From Atlas, we have Catherine Full Body, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Apparently no Persona 5. From Warner Brothers, we have Batman Arkham Knight RTX Remaster. Like, what the heck is happening? RTX Remaster? Dude, I gotta get an RTX GPU ASAP. From Valve, we have a Half-Life 2 Remastered. And from Paradox, we have Project FPS. Now, again, take it with a grain of salt. Some of the games to be added, some are likely canceled or will not come to fruition, but they are in the database nonetheless, which is super, super interesting stuff in and of itself. We have a bunch of other games that are listed, and in this list, these are the games specifically that could be canceled. So apparently any of the games that I mentioned previously are not the ones that they're saying could be canceled. And again, I would assume that most of these are very plausible. And we're going to talk a bit more about that in a second. But this next list are games that apparently could have been canceled. So XCOM 3, Injustice 3 Gods Will Fall, Destroy All Humans 3, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD, Mario and Rabbids, Death Stranding Director's Cut for PC, Sniper Elite 5, City Skylines 2. Now, games that have been PM'd to these people include the following. These are more of the sketchy list, right? Total War 9, Payday 3, Hangar 13 unannounced, Fight for Middle Earth, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which again, if all these other, PlayStation games are coming to PC, why not Crash Team Racing while you're at it, right? Mortal Kombat Next Gen and Mortal Kombat 12, Moss, which is listed on Steam, PSVR timed exclusive, it seems. Space Punks for Steam, Hitman Pro, Goat Simulator 2, and which is super interesting and very plausible, is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Remastered. Why am I so confident on this? Let's break this down, okay? Let's have a little bit of a discussion period here. Not a lot going to be going on except discussion from this point on, so bear with me. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, it's inevitable, right? It's one of those games where they've remastered the first game, they remastered the second game, they're gonna remaster the entire trilogy. It's gonna come at some point. Obviously, we're probably not gonna get the multiplayer, just like we didn't get the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 2, which I really hope they release at some point, but we're at least gonna get the campaign. That's gonna happen. It's, like I said, it's inevitable at this point. I don't see that, not happening. Some of these games seem a little bit more like, okay, probably not, Some people think Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD, probably not. I don't know. Who knows? Games like Titanfall 3. I mean, they made 2 Titanfall games. Right now, Respawn has been focusing on their Star Wars game and as well as Apex Legends. which I don't see them not making like a Titanfall 3. Like I think at one point they're going to make a Titanfall 3. And as of late, people have been kind of jumping back more into Titanfall 2, at least a little bit. I've seen a little bit online. People have been talking about it more. And I think Titanfall 3 is also inevitable. I think it's going to happen at some point. So it makes sense that a game like this is in the database, right? Resident Evil 4 Remake. I mean, what other game do you remake next? They've already remade 1, 2, and 3. So what are you going to remake next? 4 is the next, logical conclusion. So that makes sense to me as well, right? Other games, Final Fantasy VII Remake, sure. It seems like it could come to PC as well. Kingdom Hearts 4, inevitable. The thing about Kingdom Hearts 4 is this one being in the list right now, but seemingly no other Kingdom Hearts titles that are unannounced is a little strange to me, because I don't think they're coming out with a 4 next. Because if you've followed Kingdom Hearts for a long time, between 2 and 3 at least, we had a lot of spin-off games that kind of add to the story and build upon the story, right? That said, Kingdom Hearts 3 did conclude the Xehanort saga, so maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 comes sooner than we would have thought, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't actually think there was any games between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, was there? I can't remember. So this is a long time ago, right? But I'm pretty sure when Kingdom Hearts 2, and then we got all these spin-offs, and then finally we got 3. So who knows? I mean, maybe to kick off the next saga, we do go straight from 3 to 4. I mean, we have Melody of Memory in between there. I don't think that really counts completely, and it's kind of like more of a recap and a little bit of a cutscene teaser at the end there. But I think for the most part, this seems like it could be very likely. We could get a Kingdom Hearts 4 next in line. I don't know. Or it just could be like, okay, Kingdom Hearts 4 is in the database, but maybe there are other Kingdom Hearts games that are going to come first. Maybe they're not. Maybe those ones are not coming to PC, and that's why they're not in the database. Or maybe they just haven't added them yet. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Like I said, all I know is this database is legit. The question is, which games are actually real in this list? Which games haven't been canceled? Which games will come to fruition? That's the big question here. A lot of these aren't really that far-fetched. I mean, we go through the PlayStation one, for example, the Sony one, right? Gran Turismo 7. I mean, why not? Horizon Forbidden West, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Edition. We already got that one confirmed, right? Demon's Souls, Returnal. I mean, Returnal, again, why not? It seems like it could come to PC. I mean, they've added so many games to PC lately, Sony, that it just, to me, it's the next step, right? Add all these other games that are on PlayStation. I don't know. I mean, it seems like just more companies just like, whatever, screw it. Let's just add our games to PC as well. So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that really quick. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, the database is not fake because there's all these different sources that are saying that, this is true, but it's still one of the things that's not confirmed. And anything not confirmed, you don't want to take seriously. You want to take it with a grain of salt. And like I said, some of these games may not come to fruition. Some of these games may be canceled. So you don't want to get too crazy about it. But it's a pretty crazy list, right? It's kind of like a dream list, really. And just to hear some of these titles is pretty surreal. I'm really hoping that it's legit. I hope that we actually get a Final Fantasy IX remake, and a Kingdom Hearts 4 obviously is going to come at some point. And, Resident Evil 4 remake I think is also inevitable. Titanfall 3, like, a lot of these games I think are just like logical to come at some point. But who knows? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stick around for everything else gaming. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, helps out the channel. Dislike if you didn't like it, that's fine too. And I'll see you guys soon another one. Stay safe, stay well, and until then, game on.